Carl and Damon here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life. It's gbhblofficial for short. And it's they made what into a movie? As we're going back to 1996 or 1999, depending upon which version you saw, for the original Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Yes, Sonic the Hedgehog or Sonic the Hedgehog the movie. A 2-episode Japanese original video game animation, OVA, based on, of course, the franchise by Sega. Should need no introduction. We've been playing Sonic most of our lives. Yeah. Produced by Perriot and directed by Kazunori Igayami, the OVA was originally released in Japan on January 26, 1996, the first episode, and March 22nd, 1996, the second episode. The OVA series was dubbed in English by ADV Films and released as a direct-to-video movie on September 7th, 1999 in North America, November 1st, 1999 in the UK. So we did eventually get it. The anime features Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Dr. Eggman or Dr. Robotnik in the English release, Metal Sonic, and a few supporting characters created exclusively for this OVA. You know those ones as soon as you see them. Yep. You really do. Was this the first time you ever saw this?
Second time.
Oh, you'd seen it before, yeah?
Yeah, long time ago, yeah.
Do you like it?
It's Sonic, yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. It's weird. It's a cartoon Sonic from the 90s. I don't think it's good or bad. I just think it's there, you know?
Yeah, it's 50-50 and it's Sonic, you know. So.
Yeah. So voice actors. We'll give you both the Japanese and the original voice, the English actors. Sonic, Masami Kikuchi and Martin Burke for us. Miles, Henry Shinya, Lane Frazier for us. Knuckles, Yasunori Matsumoto, Bill Wise for us. Dr. Eggman, Robotnik, Junpei Taguchi, Edward Neal for us. Metal Sonic, Masami Kikuchi, Gary Lipwatz for us. Sarah, Mika Kanai and Sasha Biesi for us. President, Yuzuri Fujimoto, Edward Neal, doing that voice as well. Robotnik and the President. Old Man Owl, Chafferin and Charles Campbell for us. And Butler, Chafferin again and Charles Campbell for us. So there's your voice actors. Talking of which, what do you think of the voices?
I quite like that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah?
I thought they were actually pretty decent, yeah.
Really? Wow, okay.
Yeah. I mean...
I hated some of them. I really did. But we'll get into that, I guess. So the setting of the series is in an unusual place. Planet Freedom, which is split into two realms. The land of the sky and the land of the darkness. Which straight away you're like, what? Could you not just kept it in Sonic world, you know? Okay. The land of the sky consists of an unknown number of continents that drift high in the stratosphere of the planet. All of them connected to a massive ice formation, which also serves to anchor them to the planet's surface below. According to Knuckles, if this ice network was destroyed, Planet Freedom's rotation would hurl the land of the sky into outer space, undoubtedly killing everyone on it, which is effectively the villain's plot of this part of this movie. The land of the darkness is the actual surface of Planet Freedom, a post-apocalyptic wilderness with Robotnik as its sole living inhabitant. The land of the darkness can only be accessed in one of two ways: by a whirlwind-like portal in the land of the sky, or via a warp zone, an extra-dimensional link between 2 points on Planet Freedom. Yes, this is all very confusing already. Most of its terrain is untamed and mountainous, but a crumbling city serves as the location of Robotnik's empire. The city and terrain strongly imply that Planet Freedom is a post-apocalyptic Earth that was built upon with flowing islands, with certain landmarks suggesting that the ruins are New York City. Did you get that?
Yep.
Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a very confusing world created here. To be honest, the film doesn't actually do a great job of explaining that. No. A lot of this information has been taken from online, where it's like, oh, this is the world it's in. You get references to Land of Sky and Land of Darkness and stuff like that, but what it is and how it is and where it is not in the film.
No.
So, animation then. What did you think of the animation, the anime style?
I quite liked it, actually.
Yeah, same. I thought it was good.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought it held up quite nicely for a 1996 movie.
Yeah, I mean, considering that, obviously animation was still around, but obviously, compared to what it is nowadays, yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I think it does hold up. It's got that little bit of Japanese style to it as well. Yeah, it's big. The problems with this film... Oh, let's get into it, yeah. We begin seeing the creation and awakening of something called Hyper Metal Sonic. And that's kind of a cool start, like the visual of that and all that. And like those who've played the game know Metal Sonic's a bit of a threat, so that's kind of cool. We then see the Shadow Robotnik, who says the only thing left to do is collect the life data from his counterpart. It's like, what? Life data? What? And he's obviously talking about Sonic, but you straight away you're like, what the fuck? I presumed he was like, here's Metal Sonic, he's going to attack Sonic, and there's your film.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a little bit more complex than that.
Finally, the only thing left to be done is to capture the essential life data from your counterpart. Then you will be complete, my Hyper Metal Sonic. When you awaken, kill him.
We get the title as Robotnik tells Metal Sonic to kill Sonic and then laughs. Voice of Robotnik is really, really strong.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the better voices.
Yeah, he's the one I really like a lot.
Yeah, that's Edwin Neal. Some jazzy music as we float through the clouds to see Old Man Owl flying a damaged ship towards a floating island. On said island, which is called Blair Islands, Sonic is relaxing on the beach as Tails tries to show him his creation, a jet-propelling bodyboard. So let's talk about Tails' voice. This is the one I really don't like. Why does it sound like he's got a cold? Oh, Sonic! Like he's talking through his nose.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they got that sort of voice for it.
They've always been obsessed with making Tails seem very young, haven't they?
Yeah, like he's like
a kid.
A kid, yeah.
But this, I think it sounds almost feminine, which is weird to my ears. But it's so high-pitched and so whiny that I instantly was like, oh, fuck you, guy. Hate you, Tails. You know? Just losing my rings in Sonic 2. Annoying little git.
Sonic! I finally finished it! See, isn't it great? It's a jet-propelled bodyboard. Come on, you want to try it out?
Not right now, thanks.
All right, I'll go use it myself.
Tails is just like a little kid with his new toy.
But Sonic's isn't much better. Sonic's is weird. It sounds like an older person, but they've kind of distorted it slightly to sound like a kid.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they played with his voice a little bit, like I don't know, with like a
computer, right? Yeah,
computer,
like they've messed around with it.
It's definitely good.
Yeah. Well, Tails takes the board out and he soaks Sonic. It gets out of control and Tails calls for Sonic, who ignores him at first before screeching for Tails to shut up. This scene, I was like, what the fuck? Like, you're instant, bear in mind, like, this is a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. You're seeing Sonic in this movie for the first time, and you're immediately like, why is he such a dick? He completely knows Tails, and then Tails is like, oh, help me, Sonic. And he's like, well, you just shut up. And like, he does that animated thing where he's like screaming really loudly, and you're like, whoa, guy, calm down.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this obviously for kids, but...
Oh, it is, and
Yeah,
it is, but it is, but it has some. I mean, we won't get to it. We'll get to it when we get to it. But this movie famously has a couple of scenes that will make you go, wait, what?
Yeah.
This isn't one of them, but this is a weird bit of aggression from Sonic where you're like, why is he acting like that?
Sonic! Help me! Wake up, Sonic! Come on! Help! Help me! Wake up, Sonic!
Shut up, Tails!
You know?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, Sonic's always been Tails superior. I don't know.
Oh no! Come on! They're supposed to be friends, superior.
Well, you want to think they're friends when you look at the games, because the amount of times that you sacrifice Tails.
Well, there isn't really a story in the games in that sense, is there? But yeah, just he acts like a bit of a dick. But we see that Tails is being pursued by the crashing ship of Old Man Owl, which almost hits the pair before pulling up, and Beach Day is ruined. Old Man Owl is surprisingly calm as he shouts to Sonic that he has something to tell him. The voice of Old Man Owl. It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
It was a character not from the game. He's just a bit eccentric.
Yeah.
Tails wants to help the owl, but Sonic refuses, and I'm like, the fuck, Sonic? Like, what's with you? Tails flies off to help, but the pair end up careening towards a cliff. This time, Tails' call seems to galvanise Sonic into action, and he races off to save them, using his super speed to intercept the crashing ship and dragging the pair to safety. Don't know what changed this time, why you decided to help.
Yeah, I just don't get why Sonic's been such a dick for.
Same, agreed. But throughout this, you're going to get that bit of the Sonic that you get in later games, where he's sarcastic and arrogant and stuff like that. Old Man reveals, in between freaking out for some reason, that the president wants to see him. They fly off and tails the ship, which is launched from a cliff base that Sonic seems to own. I was like, wait, he owns this building in the cliffs of this beach?
That's what I'm saying. Sonic's like, bloody, like the boss man. He's the boss of those little minions.
Sonic and Tails arrives at the president's offices and find Robotnik there. He has some goons attack and Sonic literally destroys them instantly. But Sonic is stopped from attacking Robotnik by the president and his daughter. President is just the president in this, and his daughter is Sarah, who are being held hostage. Now, they'll often say Sarah, but it's Sarah. S-A-R-A. There's no H here, which really bugged the fuck at me. Robotnik goes through the world setup and where he lives. He says the city was attacked by an army of robots led by Metal Robotnik, which apparently in the original was called, in the original Japanese release, Black Eggman.
Black Eggman?
Yeah, but it's Metal Robotnik. Metal Robotnik exiled him from his utopian city of Robotropolis, which in the Japanese release is called Eggman Land, which makes sense because that's a level that appears in later games in Sonic. And he sabotaged the robot generator, which will explode by sunrise the next day and destroy the world, apparently. But apparently this is so boring, everyone fell asleep.
According to my calculations, if the robot generator isn't stopped by sunrise tomorrow, there will be a giant explosion. Huh?
Sonic's asleep, Tails is asleep, the president and Sarah are asleep. It's silly. Yeah. He asks Sonic to head to the Land of Darkness to stop it in exchange for the president and Sarah's life. Sonic is talked into it by everybody else because Sonic doesn't want to do it. Because Sonic says, fuck this world, basically.
Yep.
But everyone else kind of talks him into it. As Sonic and Tails discuss the trustworthiness of Robotnik, hint, hint, he's not, obviously. We see he and Sarah are... I didn't know Sarah. Sarah are playing a video game where they play as their own characters in a beat-em-up. This film is weird.
Yeah.
Robotnik wins, Sarah freaks out, and when he refuses to continue to play, she says she'll stop being his hostage.
All right, one more.
Just give up. We've played 100 times.
I'll stop being your hostage.
All right, start it again.
I'm like, well, what? This is so... What do you mean you'll stop being his hostage?
Doesn't make any sense.
This is an agreement? You know, that kind of thing? It gets weirder as she loses again and demands to be taken on a drive. Robotnik refuses, but then a ship crashes through and Sarah jumps in, followed by Robotnik. And as it closes up, you see they're struggling for control as it takes off. And you are like, what's going on? Like, wow.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Sonic and Tails find the way into the Land of Darkness, but it's very dangerous and end up crashing. We get some stunts and fast running as Sonic and Tails make their way to the city, jumping off cliffs, running past traps, using spring pads and defeating enemies. It's a Sonic game sequence. Two things I noticed here. When Sonic runs fast, I like the way they do the animation. It's like an elastic band of the legs, and like that. I thought that looked kind of cool.
It did look, yeah, definitely.
You know what wasn't so cool? Tails is able to keep up with Sonic. How?
Well,
Sonic ain't that fast if Tails can keep up with him. No answer. Is it not in an S.D. Perry book?
No, I'm trying to think of something clever to say, but I'm speechless actually. Yeah.
They manage to escape an armada of enemies by going through a warp zone and arriving in a desolate city. As they walk through the deserted city, they talk about the place being relics of an ancient time. This is my favourite part. I thought it was just super dark. Because like it's supposed to look like New York City. It's supposed to be a post-apocalyptic Earth. They're talking about ancient relics. It's depressing.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, this is our world. Oh. Up high, they also notice the city is sinking and think it's related to the generator that's going to explode. As they race for the city, they're stopped abruptly by Metal Robotnik, which sounds exactly like Robotnik, and they fight it, but it's too powerful, so they actually plan to just run away. They make the mistake, for some reason, of standing there teasing him, and Metal Robotnik grows bat wings, and chases them through the city. And we get some interesting POV shots here.
Yeah,
I quite like this scene.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was really good. I liked it.
Yeah, some of the action sequences in this film, for animation as well, it's quite fun.
It is, but I mean, let's face it. As of right now, its storyline's terrible.
Yeah, there's nothing to it.
No.
You can see why it was 2 episodes.
Yes.
It's more of a TV show than anything else. As they race across a bridge, Metal Robotnik blows it ahead of them. Sonic and Tails narrowly avoid falling, which is really dumb. Because we just saw Sonic and Tails leaping across mountains, across gorges and things. They get to this broken bit of bridge and stop, oh, kind of thing. It's like, just jump. Also, you fly.
Exactly.
And you jump. Easy. Metal Robotnik does knock them off, but they pretend they're drowning, but we immediately kind of come down to see they're holding onto like a beam, pretending to drown. Metal Robotnik leaves, thinking he's killed him, and Sonic and Tails carry on.
Don't think you're safe yet. I'm well aware that neither one of you can swim.
I'm drowning!
Right?
Yeah.
It all makes sense. You're like, okay, that's fine. Only for literally the next scene, Metal Robotnik to appear and go, ha, I knew you were tricking me. And you're like, why did we even do that then? Pointless. He managed to disable Tails with some sort of glue. He shoots some sort of sticky glue out before blowing up most of the city in an attempt to kill Sonic. You get an outside zoom shot and it's like it's a nuclear bomb going off. Like, you're like, oh, well, obviously, he's dead.
Yeah,
obviously.
Got me.
And it's so big that it gets the attention of Knuckles, who is some very far away, who also appears to be wearing a hat.
Yeah.
Why has he got this hat throughout this show? Did he wear a hat? I don't remember wearing a hat in Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles or later games.
No idea. It's a reference for something.
Well, I suppose actually it kind of is, because later he talks about how he's out on digs and stuff. So like an archaeologist Indiana Jones hat? Maybe. That's what I've got. Sonic is not dead, though, obviously, and comes flying with a weapon and hits Metal Robotnik. We get another massive explosion that should have killed everyone. These bomb explosions are a bit over the top.
Yeah.
Now, Sonic is stuck on some glue, and Metal Robotnik is still moving, although he's pretty heavily damaged at this stage. As he goes to kill Sonic, Knuckles arrives. He knocks Metal Robotnik down before freeing Tails and telling him to rescue Sonic, who is now drowning. We get this really kind of dark scene where Sonic's stuck in the glue and the water's rising above his head and Tails is trying to pull him in. I was just annoyed that they didn't, in the music, find a way to the dun, 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 like put that in there, even like not obviously, just subtly. It would have been really cool.
Would have been clever, yeah. Would have been very
Yeah.
Come on, Sonic, I know you can do it!
Knuckles fights the robot but gets stuck in some glue. Thankfully for him, Metal Robotnik is out of bullets at that exact moment. Tails saves Sonic and both him and Knuckles face off against Metal Robotnik. As he tries to flee, they use their abilities and the help of Tails to reach him up high and destroy him. Metal Robotnik crashes and out of his stomach comes Robotnik and Sarah. So the shit they got into was the stomach of Metal Robotnik. Which is weird, and why was Robotnik seem so surprised when it landed? Like, presumably that was part of the plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, indeed. Sarah hits him over the head and tells him to keep his hands off her Sonic. What? Now we're entering weird territory here.
Yeah.
And I was like, her Sonic. Okay. We'll get to weirder stuff. Sonic and Tails thank Knuckles, who says he's going back to treasure hunting. And again, I was like, wait, what?
Well, he's in charge of the gems and he's like all the chaos gems and he's like,
Yeah, but that's after.
Oh yeah.
This is 1996.
Of course, yeah.
This is not Sonic Adventure time. Sonic Adventure was 1999.
Maybe they knew what they were going to do.
Oh, bollocks today, it's Sonic. By 96, we'd had Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah.
The Saturn had been released in 95. That had no new Sonic games.
No.
Dreamcast was a few years away. We weren't doing anything with Sonic.
No.
Wow. Wow, so yeah, that's nuts, that. As the sun sets, they see Robotropolis in the distance, and it powers up, and I loved it. It looks like a rave, but the powering up, the lights, the visuals of this, I thought looked fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the better scenes in this.
It made me want to see more of the city. It really did. Knuckles decides now to go with them. After saying he was going, he's now, I'm going to come with you. And this is the end of episode 1. This is where episode 1 ends. You watch it as a complete thing, you just get a fade to black. Episode 2. Sonic and the gang are at the entrance to the city. They start moving in but are attacked, so Knuckles distracts them so Sonic and Tails can stop the generator. It's a race against time now, and it's going to be close. They arrive but can't get past a treadmill. I love that the defense of this is a treadmill. Fly over it, Tails. You don't need Sonic. Sonic's running on it and trying to get on it. Tails is doing the same. It's like, but you fly, you bloody idiot. But it leads to the off switch. Knuckle bursts in though, and with 1 millisecond left, 0.0001, they're able to turn it off. I mean, there's close calls and then there's absurd close calls. When Sonic pulls the lever though, the machine traps him and scans his body. The whole city powers down and is engulfed in darkness. I like this next sequence of events. Because you're like, oh, okay. You realise this was Robotnik's plan. It was quite an elaborate one. Very elaborate. But here we are. The generator room begins to collapse, but Knuckles saves them. And out of the generator comes Hyper Metal Sonic. I like his introduction. The way it sinks, he comes up and out, and Sonic's like, there's something in there. Like, it's cool, man.
Yeah, it is cool.
It makes Hyper Metal Sonic seem quite a villain.
It does, but I mean, again, from the beginning of the first episode, obviously from Sonic being arrogant, it also shows now that he's not arrogant.
He's a hero.
He actually also needs his friend too, which is Knuckles, because if it wasn't for Knuckles, he would have got that. So
that's true. You're absolutely right.
Something's moving in there.
As the smoke clears, Sonic is face to face with Hyper Metal Sonic. I like that as well, where like it's Smokey, he's coughing, and the smoke clears, and I like that face to face. That's quite good. We hear Metal Robotnik laughing from a distance, and he rises out the floor. It's still very badly hurt, and he gets a comedic part, as basically he's being lifted up by a lot of goons, who then drop him, and it collapses and smashes on the floor. Out of the wreckage, Sarah and Robotnik come out, and Sarah bursts into tears when Knuckles accuses her of being involved. So they're like, oh my god, it was you all along. And they're like, oh, Sarah, you were involved too. And she does that whole anime crying thing where it's like rivers of tears coming out. Sarah reveals that the whole plan was Robotnik, obviously. I mean, Jesus. Robotnik then teases Sonic, and as Sonic tries to attack him, Metal Sonic stops him in his tracks. So, there you go. More powerful. Robotnik reveals that Hyper Metal Sonic is exactly like normal Sonic, thanks to his scan, and he plans to kill Sonic, then use Metal Sonic to destroy the land of the sky. Yeah, fine.
Typical evil villain.
It's fine. It's exactly the kind of thing that you could see in a video game. Yeah, absolutely, you really could. The only thing I would say is you kind of predict how this is going to go, because immediately when you think, well, if you scan Sonic, you know it's probably going to have thoughts, feelings, and all that, which you don't want in a robot. Sonic and Hyper Metal Sonic actually fight, and it's an easy win, really. Sonic gets his ass handed to him. Yeah.
I think Sonic's in trouble!
Robotnik has tied Sarah up and is in a ship as Metal drags an unconscious Sonic out of the building. So Sonic's unconscious and Metal's kind of got on by a leg and he leaves. Tails wants to follow, but Knuckles points out that they simply can't catch him. He's Sonic. You can't catch him. And I was like, well, Tails was keeping up with him earlier on. You might be able to. As they're talking, a part of the land of the sky then crashes down, and Knuckles suggests they instead follow Robotnik and deal with him. Robotnik is in the air now and unties Sarah, promising to show her something really spectacular. Now, you can say you're reading too much in the lines like this. You can. But with what follows, and some weird sexualized scenes, you look at this part and you're like, fuck. What were they thinking here?
Come on, don't be mad. Stay with me for a little longer.
No, I don't want to. I want to go home now.
Ah, but I was just about to show you something that's really spectacular.
It's weird. It's a weird sexualization of a cartoon character because it's weird. She's the only human-esque character in it. Even the president doesn't look human.
Yeah.
And then you've got Robotnik, who I guess is human, maybe. And you've got Sonic Tails and all that. So they've made her. And then they're adding lines like this, which, like I said, you totally take it out of context if you want. And it's supposed to be totally innocent. We know what the spectacular thing is.
Of course.
But it's still very, very odd. Now, being a Japanese cartoon from 1996, I'm not familiar with the boundaries that they might have pushed. Were they pushing boundaries like this and stuff like that? Here's the thing, though. The stuff they do in this is super subtle. It's like a modern day DreamWorks thing, like Shrek, where Robin Hood's singing a song about getting laid, but he stopped before he gets laid, and as an adult, you're supposed to go,
Yeah.
It's like that, but here it's visual rather than things that are said.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Was this a regular? If you know, let us in the comments. Is this a regular? And we're not talking hentai. We're not talking adult content. This is Sonic the Hedgehog from Sega, a cartoon, which has some weird moments, and we'll get into the really weird ones a bit later on. Can you think of anything? I can't. I wasn't really watching. I mean, we watched manga.
Yeah.
The manga was not designed for kids.
No, yeah.
You know? And this is a throwaway line. We're getting a bit stuck on this as if it's like he's going to whip out his knob.
Yeah.
Like that was it. It's just because of what follows. You can't help but be a bit, what?
Oh, I mean, I'm guessing obviously probably in 96 or 98, where
96.
96. It was accepted, I suppose. But obviously in the PC world now, probably not.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't think PC world is the right way to describe it because I think a kid's cartoon doesn't need to have adult content. That's not a PC thing. That's just don't do that. It's a kid's film. You wouldn't watch Paw Patrol and then be like, oh, cool, the dogs are fucking.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need that kind of thing.
Not.
And Sonic predominantly was always aimed at children. You know, it's like watching, imagine we were watching Super Mario Brothers the movie or a cartoon version of that. And in it, like, they do a thing where Mario looks at Peach's dress and goes, oh,
could have made a better movie.
you'd be like, the fuck was that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's what you'd be like. And this is what this actually does in a little bit. You're just like, the fuck was that? You know? I find it strange. But this is just a throwaway line, so nothing particularly worth getting stuck on. But it's just the first real big hint that they're making nudge, nudge, wink, winks.
Yeah.
So Sonic and Metal are now fighting in the sky again. So apparently Metal dragged them off and Sonic woke up and they fight again. But Sonic continues to get his ass handed to him. And Metal thinks he's killed him. And I'm like, Metal, did you see a body? Did you see a body? You know, Robotnik's happy as well. I'm like, guys, did you see a body?
Typical supervillain.
Yeah. Oh, I've killed him. It's like, until you see that body, decapitate him. Like, Metal bringing back Sonic's decapitated head. Even then, I'd be a bit suspicious. Like, smash it to pieces, please.
Yeah.
You know? Tails, upset, and with Knuckles and tow, goes for a warp zone back to the land of Sky. And the same beach Sonic was on, Old Man Owl is now relaxing and gets confronted by Metal. Yeah, it's a scene.
Yeah.
Sonic wakes up in a forest somewhere. He seems fine. Just wakes up lying in some grass. I like the dappling of the light. Some nice visual here.
Yeah,
and it's a nice contrast to a lot of the mountainous darkness we've just had. He's determined to stop Metal. The president, meanwhile, is watching the city under assault. Tails and Knuckles arrive at the beach house and find it wrecked. They look for Old Man Owl and find him on the beach dressed in Sonic's clothes. Apparently Metal forced him to put them on. And again, I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Tails and Knuckles end up being called by the president who wants to know what they're doing. While they're trying to fix the plane, Knuckles gets really angry about this being interrupted. Again, this aggression. You're like, chill, guys. Sarah, now here we go. Sarah is now in a dress that Robotnik gave her. It's a wedding dress. And she wants Robotnik to tell her she looks cute. And he's now in a suit. And you're like, well, I can see where this is going. And again, it's just this weird dynamic between the pair.
Yeah.
It's really strange. He tells her that the plan is for them to be married. Okay, then. Now, I don't know what age Sarah's supposed to be. What age would you put her based off her actions?
14.
14, 15, teenager, right?
Yeah, easy.
Absolutely.
And he's 50 odd.
Oh, well, fucking knows what age he is.
Whatever age he is.
But he's an adult.
Yeah.
He's an adult.
Yeah.
But I would have put Sarah in the brackets of teenage. At a push, maybe you could say 16, 17. Even still, it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Come on, what are you doing here? She then, and here we go, she has a vision of herself married to a Robotnik with tons of tiny baby Robotniks. Did you pause this picture? Because it's a picture. And see what is actually going on in this picture. Because there's something I couldn't believe.
I wish I had have, but no, I didn't.
She's breastfeeding one.
Then we can get married and live out the rest of our happy lives together, Sarah. Rock a my robot on the egg top.
She's breastfeeding one.
Really?
Yep. She has one in her arms and she's held it there. And if you look, and excuse me for getting weird about this, but I was so taken back. I was like, I paused it and I'm like, that, zooming in. And I'm like, oh my God. And you can literally see part of her breast is exposed from her top. And that baby's up there. You can't see a nipple or anything.
No. Yeah.
But she's breastfeeding one of these babies. And you're like, what the fuck?
Not needed.
Weird. Just really fucking weird.
Very odd for a potential aimed at kids program. Yeah.
Even if that, because you have to look for that. The imagery of her with tons of Robotnik babies. Mm-hmm. What on earth is going on?
Yeah, very odd.
She freaks out and attacks him, telling him she won't marry him. The president is now told of what is happening, and Knuckles reveals he knows what the plan is. Metal is out to destroy the planets by digging it into the ice caps that hold the land and sky together, allowing lava to emerge, and then will melt the ice and everything will break. Sonic arrives in the president's room, and upon hearing Metal's plan, he goes after him. Because some of his tales is like, don't tell Sonic. And Sonic's like, well, I'm already here and I heard. Well, why wouldn't you tell Sonic?
He's a hero.
Yeah, that's the point. Sarah is still freaking out as Robotnik also heads to where the two Sonics are now going. So everybody's going to the same place to effectively do battle. So do Knuckles and Tails, who reveals he has reprogrammed Robotnik's original tracker. So when they first agreed to help Robotnik, he gave him a tracker that would lead them to the generator. He's reprogrammed that will apparently now interfere with Hyper Metal Sonic's memory banks. Sure.
Yeah.
Sonic and Metal then have a very lengthy battle. It's good. Like all of the action scenes in this, it's pretty good.
Yep.
In one scene, Metal's... Here it is. The number one. In one scene, basically, they come crashing into the bottom of Robotnik's craft. Metal Sonic's head comes through the floor directly underneath Sarah's legs. And Sarah tries to cover herself while kicking Metal Sonic in the head and calling him a pervert.
Oh no! How is it that you're still alive, Sonic? What? What's wrong with you? What are you doing?
No! Don't come there, you pervert!
I get it. You're synchronizing yourself with metal.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, again, completely
That's so weird, right?
Needed. It's not needed. I don't know. I mean, I said things might have been different in '96 or whatever, but this is just completely.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I would say we're more liberal these days than we were in 1996 compared to this. I mean, obviously this is from Japan, so it's not like this was made in this country. We got it in 1999 and so on. But shit like that, it's just weird. I don't think it's uncomfortable. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it'll freak a kid out. But you're watching it with your kid, and they're of a certain age, you're both going to look at each other and be like, the fuck?
Exactly.
You know? It's actually even uses the word pervert. Like that's said, you know? Sarah is then knocked out of the ship and caught by Knuckles. Robotnik manages to shoot Tails out of the sky, so get a lot of action things going on here. And Tails ends up crashing, falling like into a massive, rolling snowball down this hill, and crashes into Knuckles, Sarah, and Robotnik. And in the most batshit, forget everything we've said, moment of this movie, we're like, this isn't even funny anymore. You're just weird. You're weird for making this, for animating it, for writing these lines. You're all a bunch of fucking weirdos. Sarah and Robotnik, they crash into Tails, and when the snow clears, Tails is holding onto Sarah's front. And I mean front. I mean he's that. Mm-hmm. And in case you think, oh, it's just weird animation, they acknowledge this actually happened. As Knuckles tells him off and Tails apologizes. Knuckles says, I never thought you'd stoop that low.
Tails! Get off!
I'm so sorry.
I never thought you'd stoop that low.
What the fuck?
How
can you explain that?
I can't explain it. I mean...
What is that? What is that? How do you explain that to a child that you're watching with? Daddy, what's he doing? Why is Tails in trouble?
Were they making it for a mature adults? I don't know. I mean...
Do you get that throughout? Do you get any part of that throughout?
No.
Then you hit these moments, and thankfully, I think this is the last one. It's the most extreme one, and you're generally like... So someone... Like, they thought, yeah, okay, when the snow clears, it'd be funny. Tails will be holding onto her boobs, which is what he's doing. And he'll jump off and be like, oh my God. And Knuckles will be like, Tails. Like, as if Tails did it on purpose. That's the thing. He acts like Tails did it on... I never thought he'd stoop that low.
Exactly.
It's like, the fuck is this?
This is odd.
Anyway, Tails manages to corrupt Metal's data and Sonic severely damages him. During the altercation, the President and the Old Man arrive, Old Man Owl, and are trapped in their aircraft, but Metal ends up saving them. Sonic then realises that Metal does have emotions, because what, we said. As he was programmed with Sonic's persona and instincts. That all makes sense.
Of course,
yeah.
Grab a hold of my hand! Wait! Don't do it, Sonic! He'll drag you under with him!
But Metal gets blown into a crack and falls into a volcano underneath, the lava. Sonic reaches out his hand to help him, but Metal rejects it, telling him there is only one Sonic before being destroyed by the rising magma. My heart, man. Terminator 2.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
There's one more, Damon.
I know.
It must also be terminated. It had me flashing back, crying over Terminator 2. Anyway, Robotnik states he still has Sonic's DNA and can rebuild Metal Sonic. But one of his missiles from the fight inadvertently blows up the disc containing Sonic's DNA. So happy ending.
Yeah, convenient.
Although we then get a weird ending of Knuckles punching Sonic as revenge for when Sonic earlier accidentally stepped on him during the brawl, and then they get into a chasing each other to end the episode and the film overall. It's like supposed to be some sort of like light-hearted comedic moment at the end. Just weird.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone knows that Sonic and Knuckles always had a little bit of rivalry with each other, so I suppose...
Everything's all right. Almost. Not quite. What did you do that for? So now we're finally even, Sonic. What do you mean? Come back!
Sonic, wait for me! Wait for me!
Why did you hit me? I was getting you back for stepping on my head, Sonic.
I don't remember doing that.
Yeah, I
Sorry
mean,
there.
it's actually quite interesting. Yeah, I suppose because obviously Sonic 3 had come out. Knuckles had thought Sonic was a villain. Turned out, obviously, what had happened in that. So it makes sense, the development in this. And that continues. They're never really friends, even in like adventure and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's the film. It's not a long film. It's about 55 minutes long. And it is over time. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about the animation is it's good, but it's over time. It mixes that, it's anime, and you do get those flashes where it's almost manga-like at times. You get some wonderful action sequences, some great visual effects, whether it be the forest, the city, Robotropolis lighting up, stuff like that. The issues with it amount to a very, very thin story that I like because it could be from a video game. You could see that playing out as a video game.
Definitely.
Just weirdness. The weirdness is what's really off-putting about this. From the dubbed. I guess I can't say it'd be better to hear it with its original Japanese voice actors because that would sound weird to my ears.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you're not hearing no Japanese language coming out of Sonic and stuff like that, almost might be better to just read it with subtitles. Because I don't think the voices really match a lot of the time. I don't think it's particularly spectacular.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about Knuckles and all that, but I don't like Knuckles' voice either. It doesn't seem to fit either. But overall, I think it's a decent movie. I don't think there's anything wrong. I think it sits squarely in the middle. You're not going to have a bad time because it's short. You're not going to have a good time because it's weird. And, as we've talked throughout it, those weird sexualized moments are baffling. Baffling. Did you laugh? Did you find yourself laughing at any points with the comedy?
I wouldn't say I was laughing at the comedy. I was more laughing at the film, to be fair. I mean, my opinion overall. I mean, 50 minutes for. If I watched it with my son, I think he would enjoy it. I think that's my opinion. I liked it, but it's not for me. It's not for me. I mean, I said I was more enjoying the colours, the pictures, the surroundings. That's what I enjoyed the more.
Then let's ask the question. You watched it with your son, who's of a certain age. Did he pick up on any of those weird sexualized moments?
No, thankfully he didn't.
Okay, that's interesting then. Yeah, that's interesting. Even the tails with boob grabbing one, because that's so in your face. Or at least maybe he didn't acknowledge it if he did pick up on it.
Yeah, if he did, it wasn't acknowledged.
That's cool, that's cool. I mean, I don't want to rubbish the film or say like those are so outlandish or so strange that you shouldn't give this a go if you've never seen it. I think it's well worth a watch.
Yeah,
because it's certainly of a time. Remember, although it didn't come out to 1999 in this country, it's from 1996. So we're not that far removed from Mortal Kombat and Mario and all that. And this is obviously an animated or more animated movies than were live action. So it's interesting to see this early version of Sonic pre-Sonic going 3D. Because this is a couple of years before Sonic... Well, yeah, because it was... What year... I'd love to know, what year does Sonic Jam come out? Do you remember Sonic Jam?
Yeah.
It was a Sega Saturn game that combined all the old Sonic games, but had this bonus mode where it's like you could explore a sort of small area as a 3D Sonic. It was them showing off Sonic in 3D. Looked like shit.
Well, Saturn came out in 95, didn't it?
Yeah. But was a Sonic Jam a couple of years later.
Yeah.
Saturn had a short life, didn't it? It was like 98 before it really died a death. And Sonic R, which technically was 3D, but that was later as well.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool to see Sonic in a totally different environment. I didn't watch this until a couple of years ago. So I can't say I was even aware of it at the time. I remember I'd seen the cover before. I remember seeing the cover for the film, not the series. So I was definitely aware of it, but definitely didn't see it. Weirdly enough, Sonic would be better done in modern day.
Yeah.
With the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, the live action one, which is surprisingly... We will get to that. But as well with Sonic TV series, there's so much Sonic to cover eventually. But if you've got any thoughts on this movie, please let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?